Taft here with Skip Bayless, Shannon, Sharpe. Good morning.
Hi,
Happy
Jenny.
Friday.
How are you?
Good.
Boarding school, Jenny. Oh, Johnny Cash, Skip.
Huh?
And me, look at the
Boarding school?
Yeah, you like your dress with going to board.
Proper.
Really?
Look at your boy, Skip. How you like this,
I
Skip?
think you are in the
How you
same
like this,
boat
Skip?
as me.
You know who looked good last night?
Who did?
LeBron James.
Oh.
You know, I watched his game last night, and he didn't even play. But he looked good sitting on the end of the bench.
You know, you a hater.
Is that all there
At
is?
some point in time, the man didn't even play. You found a reason to criticize.
I told you he looked good.
So what?
That's
You didn't
tough.
like the color of his suit. He did not sit.
I couldn't see what
he
his
didn't really
t-shirt
like his.
said.
He didn't like his teammate. It was Nipsey Hussle. You didn't like his
Was it
teammate.
Nipsey Hussle?
He didn't
I
sit
like
next
that.
to his teammate. I'm sure somebody's gonna find something to say.
Yeah.
He wasn't sitting on Kyle Kuzma or Alonzo's lap, so
Really?
he can't like his teammates.
I love LeBron James.
I can't tell.
Okay, so now we're using that to start the show. We have a lot to get to today on this Friday. So Kevin Durant, so he's not too happy with our guy
that
Shannon.
could be trouble
we will
for next
explain
year.
that. And then why is everyone pointing the finger at Magic for the Lakers' troubles?
Somebody's
We'll
got
get
to
there,
take the fall.
But we have to start in Green Bay because Bleacher Report released a very detailed article yesterday that goes deep into the dysfunctional relationship between Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy and how it prevented Green Bay from becoming a dynasty. Former Packers said Rodgers would constantly ignore play calls and thought McCarthy had the lowest IQ of any coach he ever had. Another huge claim was that McCarthy would be late to team meetings because he'd be getting massages in his office. Yesterday, he refuted that, saying, quote, "To say that I skipped a team meeting for a massage is utterly absurd." Shannon, do you believe McCarthy?
No, because this seems too far-fetched for it not to be true, Skip. They say the only difference between truth and fiction must make sense. Of all the things they could have made up, they could have said, you know what? Mike McCarthy blows off team meetings because he's in his office sleep. Mike McCarthy blows off team meetings because he's in his car in the parking lot on the phone.
Too much detail?
Yes, of all the things they could have made up, you make this, he's in his office getting meetings. Skip, Greg and let's stick with McCarthy first.
Okay.
For me, like I said, he was my position. He was at the Pro Bowl. I made the Pro Bowl. He was my position coach in I think I made 93, 90 going into the 94 season. I made the Pro Bowl.
Mike McCarthy. Okay.
He was in Kansas City at the time.
Coaching Joe Montana.
Actually, he was quality control.
Okay.
Quality control does no coaching.
All right.
Quality control. Now, when I was playing, which was in the 90s, and he was quality control, they hold up the cards for the scouting team. They hold up the card for offense and defensive scouting team.
Yep.
They spot the ball and they get the play, hand the play sheets out to the offensive coordinator and to the head coach. That's what the coaching quality control does. Now, maybe they changed that title and they do other things, but that's what they did in the 90s. Mike McCarthy didn't strike me as a guy, Skip. I didn't think of him when he was with me. I was like, man, this guy really knows his stuff. I didn't see him as an offensive head coach, offensive coordinator or a head coach. Gary Kubiak, my quarterback in Denver, Skip. I knew early on, I said, he's going to be a coach because of the way he could talk, the way he talked. And like, okay, Shannon, what did you see on this? What were you thinking about this? Like, okay, I can see him as that.
All right.
I didn't see this as Mike McCarthy, but it went sideways in a hurry. And he bears some culpability, but I put the lion's share of the blame, Skip, on Aaron Rodgers.
You do?
I do.
Wow.
And I want everybody to give me an apology because I said he was thin-skinned. I said he was.
Give you an apology?
Skip.
How about me?
Oh.
I've been saying it for 10 years.
Well,
Give you an apology
we've been saying,
after we fought about how great Aaron Rodgers is?
Whoa. Two things can be true. He can be great. He can be transcendent great. And he can be aloof. He can be condescending.
You cannot be a transcendent performer if you're a poor leader at that position. Cannot.
Yes, you can.
Cannot. Disqualified, but go ahead.
But Skip, look, for Aaron, this article, Skip, didn't tell me anything about Aaron Rodgers I didn't know. Actually,
there were new details,
but
they fit into the same theme.
Skip, it makes him look worse
than
what we previously thought about Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
Because he strikes you. He comes across as a guy that's very condescending, and he feels he's above reproach because of his talent level. He's won 2 MVPs. He's won a Super Bowl MVP. And he comes across as a guy, how dare you say that I should have done this? How dare you think, if you're not Joe Montana, you shouldn't be able, or Tom Brady, you should not be able to have an opinion on Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
That's how he comes across. He comes across, it's everybody else's fault. Even though, yeah, I threw the ball in the dirt, but you should have run a better route. No, I ran the route perfect. You just threw the ball. And if you do not accept blame for that, he holds that against you. Greg Jennings in the article is talking about how he hugged Brett Favre when Favre was the quarterback in Minnesota. And Aaron asked him, did you have to do that?
Yeah.
Hold on, bro. You got a problem with Brett, not me. Skip, this comes across as real petty. And the biggest problem that I have with Aaron Rodgers, Skip, is that if you got a problem with Mike McCarthy, something he's saying, something that he's doing, why not have a conversation? Why bottle it up? Keep letting it fester and become all-time petty. Maybe at the time they were evaluating Alex Smith and Aaron Rodgers, Skip, maybe Alex Smith was the better quarterback. We've seen this before. Just because you're better in 2004 doesn't mean you're going to be better in 2010 and beyond. So Aaron Rodgers has surpassed him. Okay, but you're going to hold that against him?
And Mike McCarthy was not the primary decision maker for the San Francisco 49ers.
As if he was making the call.
He didn't make the final call.
Skip,
did he have input? Probably he did.
He should have went to bat for me. He should have said, I want Aaron Rodgers. And like they would have listened to Mike McCarthy.
Okay, because you just said you weren't all that impressed with Mike McCarthy to begin with.
I was not. I was not. I am surprised that he's gotten this far. Like I said, Skip, I only had a 1 week interaction with him. And it's not like we were putting in intricate plays, but I just got the vibe that I didn't see that side.
And I respect that. I respect your radar on that.
Yeah.
You would pick up right away on, is he with it or not?
Right.
You know, like, does he really get it or not get it? Okay, got it. You done?
I'm done.
This was a bombshell report, and it is lengthy. And when I finished, you got a whole thing there? How many? It's like 30 pages printed?
They actually could have read a book. This could have been a book.
It was close to bookish. And when I finished it, I actually wanted more. I think there might have been more, but I think the writer, and he deserves some credit here, Tyler Dunn, who did cover the Packers and is very close, knows Greg Jennings, our guy, very well. I felt like there was more to it than he could even write, because I think at some point you just have to say enough is enough.
Right.
But my bottom line takeaway from this was, as scathing as it was on Mike McCarthy, and it is scathing, it is even more so on Aaron Rodgers.
100% agree.
And he comes across as even worse, than Mike McCarthy came across, which is pretty shocking, because the top third of it is more about Mike McCarthy.
Correct.
And a quick point on the massages. I am with you on this. It even went so far as to point out that one player who shared the same masseuse with Mike McCarthy was the one who divulged that, hey, she let it be known to the player, let it slip was the key word, that Mike McCarthy was hustling her up the back stairs to his office so he could take a massage break on a Saturday. Not cool. Not cool. When again, the players are saying, well, wait a second, you are the primary play caller here, and on Saturday, which is just to let you cross the T's, dot the I's, right? You're not doing much, you're walking through. But you have to be in the middle of it if you're going to call the plays, right?
Skip, I want to be fair to Mike McCarthy. Gary Kubiak ran all the meetings. He did all the walkthrough things. Mike called the plays on Sunday.
He did?
He did.
Okay.
Later.
Okay, so Mike wasn't really hands-on during the week as much?
No.
Okay, well then that's fair.
No,
but they didn't have that 1 and 1A.
Right.
There was no 1A. It was Mike McCarthy all the way.
Correct.
Okay, so I'm going to say this one more time, because I took a lot of heat for this over the last 10 years. I have said for at least a decade that everything in this article is what I thought Aaron was from the start. He can be a thin-skinned, finger-pointing, blame-deflecting diva.
No, Skip, no say can be, is.
Okay, well, I'm not saying he always is, but he resorts to that when he's under the most heat. And he will turn on his teammates. He will shut out teammates and coaches. If he decides that you're not with him, like Greg Jennings, he just turned on Greg.
Right.
Who was his wavelength. They had tremendous rapport, and it's one of the greatest throws in Green Bay history. And Green Bay's got a lot of great throws, but the throw to Greg Jennings that we showed yesterday, it broke up. It's clinched the Super Bowl, and they had fallen into a 3rd and 10 trap at their 25.
Got a procedure, now it's 3rd and 15.
3rd and 15, I believe it was. And wham, it's a gunshot right up the seam in between Ryan Clark and Troy Polamalu. And Greg made a nice, it was a great throw and a very good catch, right?
Yep.
Okay, so it went from there to the anecdote in here about Greg Jennings that as he was in his contract year, Carlos Rogers, then of the 49ers, was kidding him about, why are you running so many short routes? And he said, well, I'm in a contract year. And Aaron overheard this. And Aaron says, yeah, why don't you guys come and get him? And Greg was just crushed over it. It hurt his pride. Like, this is my quarterback.
Right. Yeah.
And he's telling the opposition, yeah, come and get him.
Y'all should get him.
Yeah, and it burned the bridge in Greg's mind to Aaron.
Yes.
So they were done, and then they continued to squabble and spat and have all kinds of issues going forward, and then Aaron completely shut him out. When Greg went back to do a media piece on the Packers, Greg would not even acknowledge his presence. Aaron wouldn't not